Is this thing on? Hey, good morning. As always, if you are jumping on, please do me the favor of letting me know if you can hear and see and everything sounds okay. So I'm not speaking to a I don't even know. I don't even know what to say or how to say it. Looks like everything is up. I can see it on YouTube, so I'm going to minimize that so I'm not distracted. And then I am going to check the chat to see if anybody has anything to say about the audio for our regular weekly Wednesday. What I see so far in the chat is personal finance minimalist. And you know what? You have to tell me your name sometime because I feel like you told me before and I've forgotten it. And that's my fault. That's my bad. But anyway, what are we planning to do today? People are slow to jump on today. And frankly, like I'm kind of thinking that maybe it might be time to take a little break from regular live streaming, and not because anything bad has happened. I just think that like that need for folks to connect that was really, really strong back in March, April, and May, I think has waned a little bit. I think people are now that they're aware of that need, that they are out there and maybe finding ways to meet that need, or there are just more people out there who are now online and making themselves available. Like Morton is doing live streams, and Doug Cunnington has done them for a long time, but more and more people are going live. And frankly, right now we're not necessarily doing rocket science here on the weekly live stream. Mostly it's a meetup and a hangout. So I don't know. It would be really nice to hear from folks in the chat about whether or not these weekly live streams are actually worthwhile. Hey, Mike, how's it going? Thanks for dropping in. I was just kind of sort of broaching the topic that I wanted to talk about, which was whether or not these weekly live streams are really worth it for folks. I don't mind doing them. It's really easy for me to get a cup of coffee and to come on. But, I feel like a little push to, do more bells and whistles to try and like attract people here and try to make these streams bigger and to try to, reinvent the wheel every week. And I'm kind of meh about, performing tricks here, because this is intended to be sort of a letting off of steam for me and like a way to connect with people. And I think because I'm not doing circus tricks and I'm not juggling and the rest, that people kind of get what they need and then they move on, and that's okay. But I don't know if it's time for me to do the same. Hey, So You Play, what's going on? Thanks for jumping on. Really quick though, for folks who are catching this either live or on the replay, I did want to mention just to follow up to the community post that I did, and I'm looking over here at my computer. The Just Start program for Ezoic is opening up on the 5th, so that's next week, and the link will be live at 8 a.m. And I know there were a lot of people who weren't able to get into the program that wanted to, because either when they clicked the link, it took them to a page that didn't function, or they got in too late and it was already closed. So I said this earlier in the week, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to email the link out to folks that are on my newsletter first, and then I'm going to do a community post about it. If you don't know what the Just Start program is, it is Ezoic's way of allowing people who don't have a lot of traffic to their websites to get access to Ezoic's platform. But the folks who enroll have to go through a couple of classes and then take a test at the end to get access. But there's no page view requirement. I think the things that they do want is that the content must be original, the traffic has to be human and authentic, and then the site has to be in good standing with AdSense or AdX. It doesn't mean that you have to be already approved. I think with those platforms, you just can't not utilize those platforms. So folks who want to apply for the first time for AdSense or AdX through this process, from what I've heard from other folks, that you still can get through and show ads, even if you haven't necessarily been approved through that process yet. But you just can't be banned. And so that was something that folks were like, oh, this is an opportunity to get into Ezoic, even though AdSense has already denied me. That's not going to work for you. But let's see. So for those accepted in the program, Zoic thinks that they will be able to have the course details sent out by October 9th. So the turnaround on this seems to be pretty quick, and courses will start being available on October 12th. Apparently there's 4 classes, and then it's set to allow folks to work at their own pace. So maybe it's not all live this time. Maybe it is posted classes, and then you just work on it as you want. And then there's a test at the end. Another thing that they're going to be doing is doing live office hour meetings to support folks. And so that was something that I remember people complaining about in the past with the Just Start program around the last time, is that they wanted to have more opportunities to talk to the support folks. And so I think that's one of the changes that they have made. Another thing that they're talking about is, while the onboarding process is intended to be self-serve, like that was the purpose of testing this platform, they are going to have, again, access to tutorials and the support team, which is new. So like I said, the link is going to be live on October 5th, and I'm going to make it available through the newsletter and also here on YouTube. This is the only way, like this, like you could go around, like not use the link from this community, and that is totally fine with me. It's not an affiliate link, so like I don't get credit for it. I am an Zoic affiliate, and I've not been shy about that. But I think there's a couple of communities here on YouTube that are also going to be sending traffic through to this link. So not just us, but it's not going to be just like posted on Zoic's main website. So again, the only way to get in and get through is through one of these communities. You don't have to be subscribed to my newsletter to get it. You don't have to be a subscriber to the YouTube channel. Those are the ways that you'll get notified of it. Check in the chat to see who is here. I see Laura, who lets us know that she got into a Zoic last week, and like, woo! I feel like, Laura, we were talking about last week that you were having some anxieties about whether or not your site, whether or not you'd actually finished like applying. And I actually went back to the Zoic people and I told them, I said, I think it would be really great if there was just like some sort of notification that said you have applied, and like check the box, like done. And they were like, that's great feedback. Thank you. So again, folks, just continue to send your feedback, and I send it all over to them because I think they should know. And I think they're working really hard to try to make their onboarding process better. Pete says that, talking about the live stream, because I'm having doubts about whether or not this is valuable. He says it provides accountability, and that's good. I mean, that was part of the purpose of doing this, and it definitely has provided accountability for me as well. But, I'm struggling with getting on here and performing because I'm not really interested in doing that. That's not the purpose of this. He does say questions get answered, unlike larger streams. Yeah, that's the thing, is the large streams that are well attended. I suppose that is a great point, and maybe that's a great argument to continue to do this, is that smaller streams make it easier for people to actually talk, and things get lost in a big stream. I mean, they're really difficult to manage, and I honestly don't know how people manage large streams very well. I think a lot of people participate, which is great, but at the same time, when you're the person who's in charge of it, it's really hard to actually serve people in any way. Hey, so welcome. And I was hoping that you did your live stream, right? Jana, you did your live stream. How did it go? I mean, did anybody show up? I told you that I would have loved to have been there, but I couldn't because I had other stuff going this morning. But I would love to hear how it went. Like, please drop it on us. I'd love to know. Chris says, hey, and I say, what is going on? It's probably Chris. I wanted to tell you that I watched your video about the race to $1,000 with the ads versus affiliate site. And folks, if you don't know, Chris posted a pretty cool video where he's got 2 websites now that he's working on, that he's trying to see which one he can get to $1,000 a month first, which I just think is really cool. And I think it's a really good case study to follow. So if you don't know that he's doing that, just click on his little thing and on his handle and go check out his channel. Pete says other live streams cater to different audiences and cover different topics. It depends. Yeah. Mike says apply everyone to Zoic. There are some folks who love it and some who don't. And hey, Steve, what is going on? So we haven't checked in with you for a while. how are you? How are things going? It's nice to see you back, but I feel like it's been a while since we've seen you. Chris says, let's talking at Chris. He's talking about, yeah, no, that's exactly what I talk about. Hey, there's Bob. What's going on, Bob? How's it going? Thanks for taking some time out of your busy day and dropping in on us. David says, does the podcast get more audience listens than the live streams? No, the podcast doesn't get anywhere near the traffic that YouTube does. And I suppose that part of that is my fault because I don't push the podcast that hard. And I don't think that everybody is into the podcast. I'm right now at a point where each episode in the first 30 days gets somewhere between 30 and 50 listens, which I think, in the realm of the podcast world for a podcast that's pretty much brand new that I don't promote, that's not a bad thing. But at the same time, YouTube is sort of the primary way that I push people to the podcast right now because the visibility of a podcast is so low. I like podcasting though, and I'm going to continue to do it. And it's a fairly affordable way to serve a small part of my audience who really likes podcasting, and it's a good experience for me. But no, the live stream definitely attracts more people, although just there's not a lot of people who seem to be that interested in showing up live, and maybe it's the time, maybe it is the topic, maybe it is the bells and whistles, or maybe it is people are just not as excited about it. I don't know. I just, just start testing the waters to see whether or not the value is still here for people. Jana says, I did it. You know what? It was a disaster. Hey, you did it and you got it out of the way, and 5 people showed up, and that's still 5 people who you live streamed to. I am fairly certain that my first live stream was 0 people. I'm pretty sure that I came on here and live streamed to nobody. And in fact, those videos are gone, but it's not just one live stream. I live streamed probably 10 times before anybody showed up. So it was just me talking to nobody. And then, nobody watched the replay because I didn't have any subscribers. So I felt pretty silly, but it was good. Oh, talking about the follow-up from last week's Ezoic concerns. The process wasn't clear, but I emailed the account manager and all went smooth. They actually accepted both of the sites. Good, Anya, and I'm glad I was able to provide you with some useful advice. Pete's talking about Morton's live stream got mentioned, but the question didn't get answered. Yeah, Morton, I think, did a really great job of going live for his first time, but he had so many people there. Like the chat was just flying. It doesn't surprise me at all that it was hard for him to get to all the questions. I'm not sure that I could have managed all of that. And I've been live streaming consistently since January. So, yep. Chris's video deserves pat on the back. It's a good one. David says, I find the thoughts of getting camera scary. I don't know how people do it casually. Well, it's funny about that. And I've talked about this before, but I used to cry. I did. Going on camera was so uncomfortable and scary for me that I used to cry. And it literally has taken me more than 2 years to get to the point where I can talk to you now. And that was 2 years of making videos consistently and many, many bad ones. So it looks casual, and I guess it is casual now, right? I prepared for like a couple of minutes. I managed to take a shower right before getting on here. But when I used to do this, it was terrifying. And I have deleted almost all of the videos where, they just never made it to YouTube because I would film for 2 or 3 minutes and then, throw up my hands like, and then that would be the end of it. And that stuff never saw the light of day. So yeah, no, it was a process. And for me, it was very difficult. So it looks casual now, but don't assume that for folks who you see on YouTube that it looks easy now, that it was always that easy. Steve is updating us. He said, if I should continue with 1-year-old site with very little traffic or start fresh in different niche, too much thinking, not enough action. Yeah, I would say, not that you asked my opinion, and other folks can chime in on this if you were in the chat. There's 17 of you here, and if you haven't gone over and hit some sort of like button, there's only 2 likes over there. Please go and hit that so that it can blast out the notification to other folks to see who else is around. Like I said, you didn't ask my opinion, and other folks I think should chime in, but I would tell you to wait. I would tell you to wait at least until 24 months before you say, failed, right? I don't think that a 12-month-old site, that is a good time to say that that was an epic failure. There are a lot of folks around who are looking at, this hockey stick traffic at 6 months or 9 months or 12 months. One of my first sites, I didn't see any real growth until well after the first year. And I don't know if it was the niche or my strategy or the keywords or what, but for me, it just took a lot longer. So please, please, please just do me the favor of not quitting on that site. Or if you are going to quit on it, don't just cancel the hosting. Like, try to find somebody to take it over for you, because somebody is going to be interested in that content, even if it's not the exit you were dreaming of. There are folks out there like Chelsea Clark who would be really interested in grabbing up a site that has content. And so there's still potentially money to be made there. But I would just tell you not to give up. Please don't give up. Please. Chris says, better to have a disaster in front of 5 than 50. You know what? I feel like I have done both. It happens. Ryan, how's it going, Ryan? It says, the site I moved from Newer Media. I have not done any work with Newer Media, and I was wondering what that company is like. If you could tell us anything at all about that, that would be super cool. But you moved to AdThrive, making $15 a day, now making $60+ a day with $25. Wow. Well, congratulations. I would be curious, because I'm looking at the time of year, right? It's September and we're starting to ramp up. I wonder if the RPM or the earnings are going to be consistent and what it will look like in January, February, March. I'm really curious to see how well it performs versus what it was like with Newer. Please come back and update us as it goes on, because that is super valuable. Yes. Let's see. Pete's weekly update. Thank you for jumping in with your Uply week date. I need to drink more coffee, apparently. Grabbed his first snippet. Woohoo! That's awesome. And I don't have my sound effects, so but that's really cool. Your site is not that old, so it's really cool to see you getting a snippet and just making progress. Got 24 articles. That is still exciting. Now past 3 months, so starting to see some movement. We don't expect a whole lot to happen in the first couple of months, so to see any traffic at all, even traffic between 150 and 200 page views or visitors or sessions, is still really good. We see people who, like Steve, who are struggling to get any traffic at all at 12 months. And so I want to just clap for you and just want to encourage you to keep pushing on, and just, everybody's got, until they don't, but having a job or other duties and just pushing through, even to get that many, I just think it's great. Morton's become a minor celebrity. Well, he's just so darn likable. If he was like not so likable, I would be jealous of him, but he is just so darn likable. Like, you just can't see him and just want him to succeed and to be successful, because he's just so darn likable. How do you, if he could put that in a bottle and sell that, not only would he be a celebrity, he would be a gajillionaire. His approach overlaps a lot with Income School, so he probably gets a lot of their viewership coming over from them. I think so, but I think part of it is just people like him. I think it's just he's just got it. It's just one of those things. Questions for Steve is, how many articles are on your site, so folks can tell you whether or not they think that you should punt. Yep, I concur, Ryan. Chris's content is awesome, and we want to encourage Chris to post more, because it would help the rest of us so much more if he wasn't so cavalier about YouTube. He's like, maybe I'll drop a video this month. Maybe I'll go camping. I don't know. Mike says, don't give up. Keep it up with your H site. Some can take 18 months or more, and I concur. Jana says, my site is 1 year old and traffic is growing very slowly. So there's, from the peanut gallery, folks are saying that they're in a similar place to you, and that's just not a sign that it's time to quit. David says he's been slogging away for the past year, up to about 500 visitors a day on 98 articles. It's a slog, isn't it? It really is. You see these other people, right? And you're cranking out content, and you're typing and you're typing and you're typing. They're like, oh, I've got a 6-month-old site that's got 100,000 visitors. Chris. But that doesn't happen for everybody, and it takes time. And the folks that are doing that, who are able to do it, what seems like an extraordinary short amount of time, are folks that have other experience. In most cases, it's not their first site. It's not their first rodeo. So just good on you for slogging away and keeping up the good fight, because that is how we get there. Ninad says, you're providing very useful info, and I am glad. Just when my website reached 10,000 views and I was ready to apply Azoic, Google update hits, and now website is only 2,000 to 3,000. That is a bummer. And actually, I haven't heard a lot of people talking about it except for Angus. Did I get that name right? I need to drink more coffee. I don't know if anybody else noted in the middle of September, around September 10, 11, 12, that there was an update of some kind that rolled out. I did notice some movement on some of my sites, but not all. I would tell you that you should try to jump into the Azoic Just Start program to get your site in. The link is going to be live on October 5th. And if you missed the whole chat about this, watch the beginning of this video later on, and you won't need to have the 10,000 views, and you could still apply with 2,000 to 3,000 views. So Chris says, it's low amount. So I think we're talking about the number of posts, around 18. I wonder if they're too long tail. I would just say that you need more posts, Steve. That's just what I would say. Yep, the Just Start program is open on October 5th, and I would advise you to get there quickly. They have 500 spots this time instead of 200, but I still think that those are going to go quickly. Sammy says, my first site some years back was on Pokemon merchandise, and the competition was too high. Well, it highlights the importance of niche selection, and it also probably provided you with a lot of good experience of what not to do, which in my experience and in my opinion is probably more valuable than what to do, is knowing what not to do. Commit says he got banned from eBay partner program for no good reason. Oh, that's a bummer, and I'm sorry. They wanted to see my server logs, and yeah. Well, that highlights the importance of diversification and having multiple income streams, because if you're all in on one partner or one relationship, that if that goes away, that it can be really devastating. Quitters never win and winners never quit. I concur. I don't even need to add anything on top of that. Steve, you got to get it. Basically, we just think that Steve needs more posts. You never know what will hit, so throw mud at the wall before you quit on it. Yeah, so folks, what do you think? Do you think we should keep doing this? Is it worthwhile? Like, is it really worthwhile to come back here and do this every week? I mean, we have a couple people on today. So far, we've got 5 thumbs up and 1 thumbs down, which I thank you, whoever it is that did that, because somebody does that every week. But yeah, I mean, this is the time for you to contribute. And I guess if you're watching this on the replay, go down into the comments in the description, below the description, and tell us, is this valuable? I would really love to know, because I honestly need some incentive is the wrong word, but maybe some encouragement to continue to come and do this, because otherwise I feel like I'm like putting on a show, like dancing, like, look at me, look at me, look at me, for no real purpose. And I don't know, I don't need to do that. I'm going to let the folks who are trying to build courses and who have, they really want to be on here. I'm just sort of here trying to connect people up. So yeah, let me know what you think. David said, it's like a therapy session. Oh, funny. Yeah, thanks, David. Mike says, keep doing it. You have been warned. Oh, man. Coffee and therapy. Well, if I don't succeed on the internet and making money online, then I guess I have a backup career as just psychologist, therapist. Steve says, the reason I doubt is due to Morton saying that it's hardly any traffic due to it being in a YMYL niche and self-development. That could possibly be it, but it's really hard to say one way or another because there's just not enough content. Sammy says, I could invite more guests. I could. Mostly I just rely upon organic interest. So if people come across the stream and they're interested, they're welcome to come and check it out. I'm not that interested in going and promoting it because I don't want to take away my time. My time is kind of limited because of the other parts of my life. So mostly I'm just focused on trying to grow those other things. But I suppose I could. Jana says, it is a community, and it is. And I think maybe the reason I'm feeling a little defeated is like last week's stream was really poorly attended. I think I was talking to a handful of people most of the time, and I was like, man, is it just over? Am I over? Like, is everybody over it now that Morton, I helped Morton get live stream, and now they're like, that is the weekly stream to attend now because he's awesome. Like, why wouldn't you want to go and drop in on him? But he's only going to do this like monthly. So maybe that's where I go. Pete says, we should keep doing this. If I drink my coffee an hour before the stream, you know what? Fumbling and bumbling is pretty much what is going to happen no matter how much coffee I drink, Pete. That is just the way it is going to be. People just have to take me as I am or not. What do I think about Income School buying a fish niche site contesting with Carl Broadbent? I think it's fun. I haven't watched Carl's video. I saw the thumbnail come through about doing the head-to-head, but I think it's fun. I think it's interesting. People love to talk trash about Income School. I was going to say Income Store. People love to talk trash about Income Store. But what I think is that they are actively trying to put out content that is relevant, and maybe people don't agree with their strategy. People don't like them or think that they are good-hearted, but you can't deny the fact that they are working really hard and chugging along. So I think it's fine, and I think it's fun, and I would be curious and interested to see where it goes and how it goes, because it provides, more fodder for us to talk about. So I also want to say that I think Carl Broadbent has just been going crazy on YouTube and going crazy on his stuff. And I just wanted to give him a shout out for working so dang hard. He is just putting in the time, and you can really see his channel growing, and partnerships and doing things. And I really admire what he has been doing in the past year. Laura says it's invaluable, but is it for me? I like the streams. I really enjoy talking to people, and that is the thing that is valuable for me, because I don't really talk to a whole lot of people otherwise. Like, Wednesday is my day, but there's very few people I talk to who understand. So it is valuable to me. But at the same time, if there's nobody here to talk to because I'm not providing value, then it's not valuable to me. So, but yeah, and I guess to get people here, if that means that I have to go out and promote it, it goes beyond what I'm here to do. I'm here to circle up a community. I'm not here to sell people to things for the most part. I might drop links, or I might, say, hey, I've got 2 free months of Skillshare, or sign up to this or whatever, but that's not the purpose of it, really. I think if I tried harder, I could probably get more people here, and I could probably do more, but this is really a hangout time, and it's a time for people who also feel what I feel, which is I feel alone. I feel like very few people in my circle around physically understand what I'm doing. And because of COVID and this pseudo quarantine that we're in, I can't even really go out and have the social life that let's face it, I probably wouldn't have, because I don't like people. Did I just say that? I did. I enjoy talking about the things that we like to talk about, but people out there in the world don't understand. And so it's valuable to me, but there is Jazzy. What is going on? I was going to ask you how YouTube is going, because I have not seen a notification for a video coming out lately. And this is the accountability moment. Where are your videos? You want to make it on YouTube. I haven't seen 50 videos come through. I want to see more videos. Like, love to see more videos. YMYL, I can see. David, hey man, what's going on? I feel like we haven't caught up in a long, long time. What is going on with you? I would love to hear an update on what is going on your end, because I feel like we haven't caught up in a while. Bob says, best part of my Wednesday. You flatterer. Have you found any websites that are willing to do 100% financing? Because I would love to know about that experience. That's an inside joke. We're talking about Steve. That's very difficult. Let's see. Talking about Morton and his live stream. The Friday 5 p.m. Ish wasn't convenient. People coming home from work in Europe. I was out shopping, so Friday wasn't a great time. It's like WP Eagle doing a random 1 p.m. live stream is a bad time. You know, the 10 a.m. where I live slot seems to capture people in the US and then in Europe fairly well, but we miss all of Asia and Australia, New Zealand. Like those folks just never are able to make it live. And I haven't really found a good way to capture their side. Like I've tried later streams later in the day, but it just doesn't work out because so many people watch these from the US and the UK and Canada. I didn't forget Canada. Chris. I could review sites from members. The thing that I hesitate to do is to ask people to disclose their sites because I feel like, and I worry about people, their content being stolen, people stealing. I'm really hesitant to encourage people to give me their URLs and for them to be here on YouTube because there's a lot of people out there who are not that cool. And so what about this? One of our ClickBank vendors sent us $200. You know, it's like one of those things, like those little things really help with excitement and momentum. And I love that that happened. And we have a small celebrity here. There is Richard Patey jumping on. And Richard, I just wanted to say that I love your newsletter. And folks, if you are not subscribed to Richard's newsletter, I think it's investing.substack.com. He has it's a premium newsletter, but the free version of it, there are a lot of good things in it. And I highly, highly, highly recommend that for folks who are into either website buying and selling or thinking about website buying or selling or just hearing good, intelligent content, that you should check out his newsletter. And he doesn't pay me to say that. I just really think so. I'm subscribed to it. And I really like it, especially the podcast, because he moved his podcast over there and he gets a lot of cool interviews that you're not going to hear anywhere else for the most part. So I just can't not say enough good things about his Substack. Let's see. Talking about Steve's site, he says, spent ages on analysis via rank Excel, niche down, done autocomplete. Do you think it should be dumped? Carl is a hard worker. I'm interested to see what happens with his big site and interested in the fish case. Yep. I think that type of content, case study content, is super, super, super valuable. And I just think it's great that he's out there, and I love seeing his channel grow. Oh, Brittany, is this for me calling you out for not posting videos? Girl. Well, I'll let you off the hook if you promise me that you are working on something, anything. Just be working on something. That's what you need to be doing. I know I'm right. So they take a lot of time. Yep, you're right. So I think in the beginning, when you're first getting started on YouTube, that done is better than perfect. I mean, obviously you want to strive in every video to make it as good as you possibly can. But if you're not producing anything, then there's no way your channel can grow. Like there's literally no chance that your channel will grow if you're not publishing anything. And I honestly think that each of your videos has gotten better. Like every single time, there's just something better about them. I've been recently being served a lot of content from Brian G. Johnson, and his comment was, in your videos, rather than trying to make them perfect in every way, was to just make one aspect of it perfect. So rather than trying to hit your delivery and the script and the lighting and the pacing and the jump cuts, it's just like to pick one thing and then work on all your videos on that one thing until that one thing is great, and then move on to the next one thing. So over time, your videos will gradually improve as you hit those pieces one by one. And for me, that was a really great piece of advice, because otherwise I don't know that I would get any content out, because my videos are far from perfect, like far from perfect. Let's see, talking back about whether or not to keep doing this. It says, very few people in life understand. And after a point, it gets strange, no matter how good you are doing financially. Yep. Brittany says, on the bright side, traffic is up 150%. That is awesome. Some folks are getting killed in September because of an update, and it's great to see that your site bounced through that and is looking up. Bob says, LOL. Always dropping in the clever comments, Bob. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, you're making me feel good. Leadership skills. I feel like a very calm person, but sometimes that translates into kind of boring. But take it. Let's look at that as calm, as a positive thing, rather than not very interesting or exciting, which is sometimes how I feel. Oh, WP Eagle. Sorry. Why are you apologizing? I have no idea. LOL. I'm like lost. I'm so far back. Let's see. Where are we? I saw. Oh, are we talking about WP Eagle? Oh, you doing the stream at 1 p.m. When is it a good time? So we got these in multiple comments. Sorry, when is it a good time? Yep, this is a great time, folks. Crowdsource for Alex is, when is the best time for a stream? I'm catching it live because I'm in Asia. It is super late there, and so I really appreciate your dedication. Yep, speak of the devil. People don't get it. They don't. The housemate mocks how much I can buy with my few cents per day. Yeah, people don't understand why you would work so hard to make so little, but they will be wanting to know all about what you're doing when you are making a whole lot. And it will look like magic to them because they really didn't pay that close of attention to all the work that you did to get it there. They'll think that it must have been easy for you to do, and that they could do it too if, they just like waved their wand and then made it happen. Oh, yep. Saying hi to WP Eagle. Never take negative people seriously. Yep. The extra streams. Yeah, I was wondering if you were having a stroke live on our live stream in the comments. No, we're talking about how you were negative. We were talking about other people, how other people were negative about what it is that we're doing around here. It's very hard to stream at a time that works for everyone, and I concur. And I have basically just given up trying to make everybody happy, and just tried to make some of them happy, and that's how it goes. Seems like I listen on Pandora. I have not actually gone and checked to see if I'm listed on Pandora, and I'm going to make a note of that. And my super technological device here says podcast on Pandora, because I can't remember if I registered it for Pandora. Let's see. Flying through. Let's see. Is anyone curious about Spark? Okay, so this is me giving Jazzy, Brittany, a shout out. So Brittany you were an architect, or you study architecture, and so you made the jump in the last few months into creating a YouTube channel about architecture. I think that's what I'm getting out of it, right? And so I just want to give her a shout out. Spark Studio is her YouTube channel, and sometimes you log on to these live streams as Spark Studio, but she's logged on as her personal self. But if you want to check out her growing, go through the process. And if you're someone else who is also trying to start a YouTube channel and just want to grow with other people, that's actually a really good strategy, is to find other people who are where you are and support each other. So watch each other's videos, make sure to leave comments, give positive engagement. That can really mean a lot. It really can mean the making or breaking of a YouTube channel. In my experience, when I started actually working on this one, my friend John Davis and I were at the same place. And it just was really helpful to have somebody who was right exactly where I was as we were growing. I don't mind if you shamelessly plug. I'm totally cool with it. Doesn't bother me. There are some great case studies and info on fat stacks. I totally agree. I highly recommend the fat stacks forum, and you can, I'm not sure if you can get into it without buying something of John's otherwise, but I bought something of John Dykstra's and I have it, and I really do like his forum. I concur. Let's see. Oh, dot fix. What is going on with WP Eagle? So he was like commenting, like he was joining the stream and then left like a sentence, like one sentence, but left it in like multiple parts. So it was what, when, what. So it was just kind of silly. What's going on, by the way, dot fix? How is it going, Fix? I feel like we haven't talked in a long time. Long time. So what about Saturday for a live stream? Well, the reason I don't do weekends is because I have my kids on Saturdays. And so it would just be bonkers trying to find enough private time to do an hour's time every week. I have had actually good attendance on Saturdays, but I just can't do it consistently because kids. You can't please all those people all the time, and all those people were Mike says he can't stand podcasts, and that's cool. Yeah, that's why I do both. Some people like podcasts and some people like to come over here and check things out. If you delete a stream, does it take away your total watch time on your channel? Yes, it does. Sweet. Yep. You know what? I'm going to put it on my list of stuff to do today to figure out. So there. Let's see. Yeah, people who mock us is why they can't do anything big in their own lives. Making $100 with AdSense took me a couple of months, got mocked too. Now I make more than that from ads alone. And you just got to stick with it. That's the way to go, and ignore the people who are saying that you could be making a lot more money if you went to work for someone else, because that's what they always say, right? So why don't you just go get a real job or go work for someone else? And I guess we just don't always all see the value in working for someone else. So yeah, I think we all agree. Brittany says yes. Let's see. Art Lover Animation. I said, hey, what's going on? Thanks for dropping on. You also use Pandora. Okay, good to note. Josh, what's going on? I feel like last week you didn't make it. Maybe the last couple of times you haven't made it. And so far I'm still here. And so you can at least tell us what is going on with you, and let's get an update. What's going on? Let's see. Art Lover, should I do Skillshare? Skillshare. The thing that I would say is decide what it is that you want to do immediately and what the purpose is of what you're wanting to do. If you say, my goal is to make money online, like right away, then the quickest way to start earning at least a few pennies and actually getting those pennies paid out is to start with Skillshare. But if you are focused on really wanting to grow an audience first and then use that audience to help your Skillshare grow, I think it's just, do you want money now or money later? Maybe less money now or more money later. Because in my experience, I found that having a YouTube audience does greatly assist in making money on Skillshare. But it takes a long time and a lot of effort to grow that YouTube audience to a place where you can actually make any money. So is it a little money now or a lot more money later? Because if you want more money later, then I would start on YouTube and just focus on building some sort of audience around your brand, and then push those people over to Skillshare. And once you have those people, it will make it so much easier to make money on Skillshare. Let's see. Technology is not always money well spent. NASA spent $1 million to develop a pen that could write in space. So they used a pencil. Alex, one of the things that we haven't talked about is how are things going with you? Like, what is going on? I guess I haven't caught up with you in a while, and I haven't been able to make it over to one of your streams, and that is my bad. So rather than forcing you to spill it all on the stream, what I need to do is just go check out some of your videos, and then I will know. Why lack of chatting? Kids. Yes. Well, those of us who have kids understand how that works out. You know what? I think it would be really cool if other people in this group did live streaming. Fix does live streaming, Alex does live streaming, and I would love to see more folks jumping onto the live streaming. I listen to podcasts at the gym. I like to listen to podcasts while walking. I like to walk around the neighborhood just to get up and get my brain moving and blood flowing. And so, yeah, I think podcasts are great, even though not everybody does. Hey, David, what is going on? I saw your comment a couple days ago and just wondering how things are going. So Skillshare earnings, for me, what I have to admit, honestly, is when I started my Skillshare journey, I was like committed. I'm like, I'm going to post the maximum number of courses and content that I can. I'm going to do that every week for a year, and I'm going to see how it turns out. And I lasted about like 6 weeks. And then I didn't post hardly anything for a year or so. And so I'm that's one of the reasons why I haven't updated, is because in a lot of ways I really failed in the goal that I set out to achieve. But I mean, on the upside is that content that I created, even though I'm only slowly getting better, honestly, I'm slowly getting better, still doing work for me over there. So month on month, and it kind of goes like this, like it goes up and then down and then up and then down and then up and then like this. So month on month, I'm earning more. I had planned not to make any videos or talk about earnings disclosures until I had gotten to a place where I felt like proud of it. But right now it's about $500 a month. And so I can put it away and still get paid somewhere between 400 and 550. So 500 is sort of like a round, easy to say number, but right now it's $500 a month. And my goal is to try to get it to 1,000 by the end of the year, because I feel like $1,000 a month income stream is something that's like feels decent to talk about, that I feel people will respect that, versus when you say, yeah, I make $20 a month on Skillshare, and people are like, why? Like, why bother doing that? Kind of like Pete was talking about earlier, like, why bother working so hard on a site that only earns $2 or $3 a year on AdSense? Like, well, I believe that I can create an income stream for myself that could produce $1,000 a month passive, where I don't have to do any work. So yeah, I'm about halfway there now, since I actually started putting more effort into this in the last couple of months. So I'm excited to try to get this to a $1,000 a month stream. And then I was going to make sort of a massive like video, but that's where I'm at. I'm back to creating content more consistently and trying to learn more about the platform so I can actually get better at it and actually become good at this stuff, because right now I don't put myself in the category of good, like, at all. But if you folks want to follow me or, check out any of that content, the link is in the description. 2 months free in Skillshare. Check it out, even if you want or not. Whatevs. Let's see. So that was David's comment. Talking about kids. A hater's gonna hate. I'm really struggling to keep up today. So apparently what happens when you post on YouTube in the description of a video that says, I think I'm going to quit, that's like clickbait, because everybody's like, oh, I got to go see what this is about. I've seen all kinds of people jump on that I haven't seen in a long time. And apparently let that be a lesson for everybody, is clickbait works magic. And I didn't put it in there because I just wanted people to show up. I'm actually kind of serious about whether or not this stream is valuable to folks anymore. So that's crazy. So you have like almost 50,000 subscribers on YouTube, and your parents think that what you do is a joke. That's bonkers to me. They wish that you were a doctor or lawyer. Well, I'll speak from experience. I was a lawyer, and this is way better than doing that, even though I used to make way more as a lawyer, but I'm not giving up. I'm on my way to replacing that income entirely. Let's see, I finished September at only 111,000 words of content published. So he's like, yeah, so I just wrote 100,000 words in the month of September. No big deal. Oh, and yet this space is full of former professionals who were so satisfied. Yeah, I mean, I think that that people go into careers just because they think they will get respect for them isn't not necessarily a recipe for life happiness. Right? I know. He's a beast. Yep, you're very welcome. And if you decide to jump on Skillshare, come back on our weekly Wednesdays and let me know how it goes. What did you choose? Did you choose YouTube or did you choose Skillshare? Yeah. I pushed everything I could. And it's, hey, 100,000 words in a month is amazing. You deserve every pat on the back that I could possibly give to myself on your behalf. Definitely need a break. That is the upside of having multiple projects going so that you can put it down and go work on something else and still feel good about pushing forward and you don't feel like slacking. Ooh, taking a shot in health and fitness. Ballsy. There are a lot of people who are like, no, I refuse to get into anything health related. So I'm really excited and curious to hear how this goes because most people just are steering away from health right now. Oh, John says, jumped in late, so I had no idea if you covered this. I saw people mention Skillshare. What do you think about their trial offer changing? Well, I will have to admit that I don't know what this is. And so you'll have to tell me what has changed about it because I don't know. As a teacher, I can still give away 2 months free. And so if this has changed, please drop some knowledge on us, John, because I don't know what it is. He says, I'm good, dipping in and out. Yeah, that's life. David says, thanks for answering my question. So what I would like to know is how your experience is going. I think that would be great. I want to look into making an animation project on YouTube and then make Skillshare videos on how to animate. Yep. And I think ultimately what you're going to need to do is test it. I think that's the only way for me to say, yes, animation will succeed. Like, I don't know that much about animation because I'm not an animator and I'm not a graphic artist in any way. I mean, look at my thumbnails. So, what I would say is just pick one and then just go all in on it. I think it's a great idea to create the animation and then mention, I could teach you how to do it on Skillshare. Like that is a great way to funnel people there. But at the same time, it means you're going to have to do both, right? You're going to have to make the YouTube video and the Skillshare thing. But if you have like a plan, I think it's great. I think the thing you don't want to do is just get stuck, just thinking, should I or shouldn't I? At some point, you're just going to have to say, let's jump, let's go, let's do it. Let's see, cracking the whip on the kids. That's the thing is when the kids get old enough to type and to write, then you could definitely put them to work writing blog articles. And you say, oh, well, honey, I'm just teaching you how you can create a business for yourself by writing blog articles for my website. Why bother? Because multiple income streams add up over time. Yep, that's how I feel about it 100%. Alex, you're probably gone and have been gone for a while. Bloomin' kids. That might be the comment of the entire stream is bloomin' kids. Can you think of anything that sounds more British than that? Is bloomin' kids? I wish I had like a decent accent that I could mimic that. Bloomin'. I'm not even going to bother because it's not even silly. I'll check you all soon. How many words did you write yourself? He said he wrote 65,000. That's still a lot. A lot. Still a lot. Still very many. Also dropped my 45-minute exotic video for people. I have not seen that. Where do I find this? Where do I find said video? Because I would be curious and I want to check it out. Hey, Steve, thanks for dropping in. I feel like we haven't connected in a while and just wondering how things are going for you. Like I said, this is an accountability stream, so everybody who's here is definitely encouraged to say what is going on and all of the rest. Let's see. I tried to get my fiance to write for me, but she's not having any of it. It's funny. It's like trying to find free content anywhere you possibly can. So you're like, oh, maybe I could trade or I could get an intern or just somebody. Yeah. I didn't even know that Josh had a YouTube channel that he made videos. So now I feel like I'm missing something and now I want to go check this out. you'll come back and give us an update. Maybe I'm in college, but trying to do stuff in my free time. You know, I think right now is a prime time to do it. I think that waiting until you have free time is a recipe for never. And starting young, I think there are a lot of us in this group who, I'm not going to say any of us who have gray hair, because I promise not to harp on how old I am, or some of us are, but I think the majority of us who are coming to this later in life wish that we had started a long, long time ago. I'll just say that. I wished I had started this 10 years, 20 years ago. Can you believe where I'd be now if I'd started 20 years ago? Josh says, look up I'm going to drink some coffee. Look up Pro Blogger Income on YouTube. Okay, I will. I'm going to write it down. Pardon me while I write this down and remind myself to check out Josh's Pro Blogger Income. All right. Steve says that he published 123,000 words and 73K in September. Are you outsourcing or are you writing? Because if you are writing, I'm going to just... Nomanam. Hey, what's going on? Thanks for dropping on. I feel like we've got maybe 5 or 10 minutes left in me here, because I know a lot of us have to go and have lots of work to do. But thanks for dropping on. Sammy says, can you set a specific agenda beforehand? You know, if I was doing live streams that had a purpose other than like just getting people together, then I might. You know, there's sometimes when I show up and I say, okay, here's what we're going to do. But mostly what we're here to do is just to chat and be together. And if what I need to do is start making these live streams more of like a value stream, then I'm not sure that I will continue to do them to make them successful, because I would rather be creating content that earns money in different ways, because I just have so many projects on the back burner. So I guess that's the balance. If to make these live streams successful in the future, that I have to treat them more like a regular YouTube video, which means I've got to prep for hours and then, you know, get it all together. I don't know that that would be sustainable for me, because I'm already creating so much content otherwise. Oh, I don't know what's going on in the chat. Keep up the grind. Yep, totally. You outsource the writing. You know, people say, oh, you're outsourcing. That's so it doesn't make the achievement that valuable. I think that outsourcing thousands of words of content is still a ton of work, because all of that content has to be reviewed. It has to be edited. It has to be published. It has to be arranged. That's still a lot of work. It's still a lot of work. So I don't think that it being outsourced means that it wasn't hard. That's still a lot of work. David says he's earning $30 a month at the moment, but I can't believe I'm earning that from my own content. So when did you decide to jump in? When did you say that this is time? What I liked about Skillshare was it just finally, for the first time, sort of proved the concept. You know, you spend money when you first get here online, and you're like buying courses and you're buying tools, and it's a long time before the money starts coming the other way. So to finally find some platform or some way to turn the tide, it just was really what hooked me. And that's when I was finally all in, when the concept was proven that the internet earned me money. I finally earned money. And that's why I talk about Skillshare a lot for beginners, because it was finally that time where that tide got turned. And until you have that moment where you earn that first dollar, it's really hard to get as excited and maintain that momentum, because you're still wondering, is this going to work? And you keep thinking, this isn't going to work. I haven't earned anything at all. So that's my Skillshare rant. Sounds like you're hooked. I think so. It says, I got more excited about a $1.23 check online as my... Well, it's proof of concept, finally. Yep, that's how they get you hooked. He says, no need to change. Well, you know, I'd like to serve people better if I can, but only if I can do it within the frame of what I already do. Let's see. I think a few things need to change in the platform. I wonder how it will be in 5 years. Well, I'm not even sure that Skillshare is profitable at this point. And so there's going to be a come to Jesus point at some point in the future where the investors who are putting money into it are going to say, okay, where's our money? And if they can't make that happen, then it's not going to be sustainable long term. Again, so I wouldn't put all your eggs in one basket over there, but for now, it's a great place to be. Pete says, talking about producing faster content or figure out a way to slow you guys down, thinking maybe treat. Yeah, well, it's hard. Is how do you compete with folks who are churning out 100,000 words of content in a month, in a week, in a day? And the answer is you just don't worry about them. You focus on your own experience and do what you can do. And then those guys do what they can do, and we're happy for them. And that's how I look at it. Outsourcing is not passive, not at all. I was really excited when I made my first $4.94. It felt more real when I made $100 in a month with ads only. It does. Like every one of those thresholds, it makes the addiction worse. So you make that first dollar and you're like, okay, I've made $1. Now I want to make 10. And then you make $10 and you're like, all right, now I want to make 100. And then you make 100 and you say, oh, now I want to make 1,000. And there's no stopping it. I think that even people who are making $10,000 a month, I think, okay, I made 10. Now how do I make 20? How do I make 30? How do I make 50? How do I make 100? You think guys like John Dykstra, he posted what, a $70,000 month recently that he would just feel like sitting back and be like, all right, I'm good. But he is pushing harder than ever. It's almost like an addiction. Hey, congratulations. He hit the $500 mark for September. That is exciting. And you should be excited. I'm super proud of you. Says, I wish I had 10 right hands to publish 100,000 words a month. If only. All right. See you later. Thanks for dropping in. It's nice to get to talk to you. All right, folks. Well, I am going to wrap up. It is 11 o'clock. Folks, thank you for checking in with me. It sounds like there are enough people who are excited for us to keep going that I will push through at least for October. Let's just say, let's aim for October and see how it goes a month from now. As always, I appreciate your support. The links in the description are the ways that you can support me. I have a podcast link there. My Skillshare link for 2 months free and the newsletter are there. And as always, thanks for dropping in. You guys keep working hard and I will see you next week. Take care.